National Day, always a big event for Gibraltar, especially so this year. The GBC newsroom has been working hard to keep you informed, and my job now is to bring you a summary of the key politics. The guest performer today was the UK Prime Minister, who sent a video message that was played out at casemates and broadcast by GBC. Theresa May reaffirmed that Fabian Picardo's government will be fully involved as the UK negotiates to leave the EU.
As we face the opportunities and challenges to come, the UK will continue to stand firmly beside you. We will resolutely safeguard Gibraltar, its people and its economy. And Gibraltar will remain British for as long as it chooses to do so.
The UK's Europe Minister, Sir Alan Duncan, was in Gibraltar today. He's the highest-ranking serving minister to celebrate the 10th of September on the Rock.
One of the pleasures I had was to go back and see where I lived as a child, because my father was here with the RAF and was the commanding officer, so that brought back some of my very early infant memories. But more importantly is the fact that I'm here as a minister 50 years later to send a clear message that the British government is in full support of Gibraltar. Your wishes are our wishes, and here we are 50 years from the historic referendum. That's important, so I'm the first minister to visit.
When the Chief Minister took to the stage at Casemates, he paid tribute to the referendum generation. Mr. Picardo said 1967 was our finest hour.
Exactly 50 years ago to the day, they were marching into the polling stations with no more than pencils and ballot papers, with only the weapons of democracy in their hands, but with the power of the ballot box. That referendum generation wrote for themselves the modern history of the Gibraltarian.
Some have questioned whether it's necessary to fly out so many UK politicians for the event. In response, the Deputy Chief Minister said political lobbying is particularly important right now, describing it as an investment.
There are important negotiations going on between the United Kingdom and the European Union, after which it is believed the United Kingdom and Gibraltar will leave the European Union. It is a historical moment. We have to invest in putting across Gibraltar's point of view. That investment isn't only in time, it is also an investment in resources.
The leader of the opposition, Roy Clinton, also addressed the issue.
Say it's not an easy one, but this year I think it's safe to say it's a particularly easy one, because it's something I think we can all agree on, no matter how we do it, that it was an event that needed to be celebrated. So I would say this particular National Day, it's absolutely right to push out the boat.
The chairman of the Self-Determination for Gibraltar group, Richard Buttigieg, stressed that nobody will decide the future of Gibraltar's land except its people.
It is crucial that as a community, as a people and as a nation, we continue to repeat to the whole world, loud and clear, that Gibraltar will remain British for however long we want it to be. Because no one is going to dictate to us what we should do. No one is going to impose their will over us.
Fabian Hamilton was an observer at the 2002 joint sovereignty referendum. He highlighted that Labour included a manifesto promise to Gibraltar, drawing a clear line between today's Labour Party and the one of Peter Hain and Jack Straw 15 years ago.
It said in that manifesto, we, the Labour Party in Britain, will always stand up for the rights, interests and self-determination of Britain's overseas territories and their citizens. Now, I think that's a very, very important statement in stark contrast to the actions of the last Labour government, particularly my friend and colleague Peter Hain, now Lord Hain, who I know is not a popular figure here in Gibraltar. The last Labour government tried to compromise, tried to suggest that sovereignty should be shared by Spain and the United Kingdom over Gibraltar. That was absolutely unacceptable.
Cross-party support for Gibraltar then, with the chair of the all-party Gibraltar group in the UK Parliament, Bob Neal, stressing the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes in Westminster to protect Gibraltar's interests. And the Governor, Lieutenant General Edward Davis, also paid tribute to the referendum generation.
Effectively through their strength of character, courage, ambition and passion, basically created the identity and the destiny of Gibraltar, which has made it so successful in the subsequent 50 years. So it's a chance for us to celebrate the achievements of that very special referendum generation, and I'm just proud to be here to be a part of that celebration and say thank you to them.
Next came an historic date.
50 years after the 1967 referendum, Gibraltar continues to face some stiff challenges, principally Brexit. It does so alongside Britain, whose politicians, including the Prime Minister, have taken the opportunity today to express their full support for Gibraltar and the Gibraltarians' right to determine their own future.
It was the most fantastic day Gibraltar has ever lived,